Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to my FreeCAD Fun channel. And today I'm going to create assembly about Manipulator. So I will show this workbench to Manipulator. Okay, now new file. Okay, so the workbench manipulator and new file. I will save first to, let's say, in the desktop with name Universal Join Assembly. Okay, save. So now I'm going to add the part of the universal join. First I open check 2D FreeCAD and universal join. So I will add part plate support. Open. So this is the plate support. Okay, now this is to file plate support. Okay, now I open from desktop universal join assembly. Okay, now there's a two file, universal join assembly and plate support. So I will move plate from this plate support file to universal join assembly. So drag here to this file. Okay, now the plate support in the universal join assembly. So now we can close this plate support file. Okay, no need to save. Okay, now the plate support in the universal join assembly. Okay, now the second part I will open for the part fork. Let's open. Now there are two files, fork and the universal join assembly. So I will drag the fork 3D to this universal join assembly. Now two part in the assembly. Now for the fork I will close and then discard. So in the universal join assembly there are two parts. So now I will start to assembly. Let's use this aligner and mover. Okay, click. Now this is the toolbar. So to join assembly I will click this circle and this small circle. For the base I will choose the plate support. So first click this circle line, and then use Control to click this circle line for the pork. Okay, let's click this align object. Okay, I think this is in the bottom direction, so let's undo. Let's try again with click this the direction, the opposite. Let's try again. Click this circle half, and then use Control, click this half small circle in the fork, and then try to align again. Okay, now in the right direction. Okay, now we can close the align tool. So now to rotate this fork, I try to rotate 45 degrees. We can use this mover manipulator. So click mover manipulator, and then click this icon mover. So click this small circle. Okay, now we can input the degree to, let's try 45 degree. Okay, they need for rotate for 45 degree, and we can close the mover. Okay, now we can save the file. So after this, I will add another second fork. Okay, let's open. Now I will drag the part to the universal join assembly. Let's click this and drag. Okay, now in the universal join, okay, now this is the second fork. Now I will close the file, and now to save. Okay, now we can align between support plate and the second fork using align tool. Now let's try. So click this circle and click Control and click this small circle in the second fork. Let's try to align. Okay, so the line is good. Now I will try to move to upper side using mover. So click this mover icon first, and then click this circle line. Okay, now using the millimeter, let's try to move 5 millimeter. Okay, let's try again 10 millimeter. Okay, After the upper direction, let's try to rotate for 45. No, maybe minus into opposite direction. Okay, now let's try upper again, 12 millimeter. Okay, now okay, no contact indication. Let's close this mover. Okay, now let's try add the pin plus. Let's open pin. Okay, open. Now this is the pin plus. So from the pin I will drag to universal join. Okay, pin point body. So I will close this pin, not to save. Okay, I think the body. So I think this two pin with body. So I will go to part and then first union this pin with the body using this union safe into fusion. So now it's one part. Okay, now go back to Manipulator workbench. So I will assembly this pin plus to fork. Okay, now use align tool. Let's try first click this circle and then use control, click this circle. Now let's try to align. No. Okay, let's undo. Let's try another reference. So click this circle and then click this circle of pin plus, use control. Let's try to align. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's in good direction. Okay, now close this align tool and use mover. So click the mover icon and then click this circle of the pin plus. Now let's try to move. Let's try to 5 millimeter. Okay, so the opposite direction using minus. Let's try again, 6 millimeter. 7 until 9. Okay, I think it's in good position. Now I will rotate this, so I use degree for, let's try 45. Okay, about 50 degree, 60, no, how about 70? Okay, close 75. So let's try 80. No, so 70. I think it's cross. So let's try 80. 80. Not yet. Okay, now for the pin, enough, so I will rotate the second fork and using mover, click this mover icon and click this circle. Let's try to rotate the fork 5 degrees, so opposite direction, minus. Okay, let's try to lower the position of second part. 5 minus 2. Okay, -2, let's say -1. Okay, -1. Let's say 6 degree. 7, no, 7. Okay, so -1.5. okay, for temporary I think it's a good position. Now, so we can close this mover. Okay, now let's save the file. Okay, for this assembly universal join looks good, so I will add another part. Let's try open the connector. Okay, let's see. Connector. Okay, now let's try again to open connector. Let's open. Now this is the connector. Okay, now I will drag this connector to universal join assembly. Okay, now we can close the connector and discard the file. So now I will assembly the connector to the second port. Now let's use align tool and then click this circle of the second fork and then use control, click the inside circle of the connector. Now we can align. Okay, now I will rotate this into the center of the surface. Now we can close this align tool and use mover. Now click the mover icon and then can click this circle. Okay, now try to rotate about 45 using minus for the opposite. Let's rotate again 46, 47, 48, 9. Okay, now we can lower the position of the connector. Let's try 10 millimeter minus. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think it's good position. Let's close the mover tool. Now I will add another part. Let's try open arm. Okay, now drag the arm to universal join and then close the arm file and discard. So now I will align this arm to the connector. Let's try align this face using align tool. Click this. Let's try the reference. Click this face and then use control. Click this face. Let's try to align. I think the opposite. Now we can undo. Let's try another direction. Let's repeat again. Click this face. Okay, use control, click this face of the arm and then use align object. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, now let's try to close and then open the mover tool. Click this mover icon and click this circle. Now let's try to move 1 millimeter minus. Okay, 0.5 minus. Okay, now it's flat between connector and the arm. Okay, now close the mover tool. Now I will open, we can save first. Okay, now open the handle part. Okay, now drag this handle to universal joint assembling. Okay, now close handle and discard. Now for the last part, we can align tool. Using align tool to assembly between this handle and the arm. Now click this circle and then let's click this reference, and then using control, let's try click this circle and click align. Okay, now it's right to the position. Okay, now finish. I assembling this universal joint assembling. Can save. Now it's look good now. That's it for the assembly using Manipulator. It's a comparison. You can comparison with the A2 Plus, Assembly 3, Assembly 4. This is the alternative for assembly using Workbench Manipulator. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you again in the next tutorial. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.